Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Okay, let's jump right into this today. I got a few things I need to talk about. We need to talk about Shiba. I need to tell you guys about the other vision that I had about the coins possibly going extinct. We need to talk about this debacle of what happened to the price of Shiba, the market manipulation, and Bitcoin being in bondage and all of that. But first, guys, let me tell you guys a little quick lesson about fear. People have been getting in my comments talking about Satan and, familiar spirits and all of this. Listen, this is not no religious channel, okay? I'm a light worker. I am a being that came here to help humanity expand the heart space. In fact, I was born with a heart condition. I was born with a heart murmur. I was born with a hole in my heart. So I've always had a big heart. I find that funny, but I've always had a big heart, and I love humanity. So let me tell you about who Satan is really quickly, so that way we don't have to be afraid anymore. You see, Satan will become your God when you fear it. When you fear Satan, he will become your God. I can guarantee you that your friends and your family and even yourself has done far more to you than Satan could ever do. When evil shows up in your life, it always has to show up through people. This is how I know that your friends and your family and even yourself has done far more to you than Satan will ever do. See, what you have to understand about source, right? Now go with me, because on this channel, we strip ourselves down to pure spirit. We don't have any religious affiliation, any race, any socioeconomic status. We are spirit. We are light. That's who we are. So that's what we're going to strip ourselves down to, so we can get this very, very important lesson. See, what you have to understand about source is the balance of all things. Source holds all things. Satan is nothing more than the lower vibrational state of the source of all. Christ is nothing more than the highest vibrational state of source. You cannot have one without the other. Because if you only had Christ, you wouldn't even understand that you have Christ. Because you wouldn't even understand and have any concept of what not having Christ would be like. So this is how the universe works. It is a balance in itself. But when we come down here to this lower frequency dimensional earth plane, we have something called the polarities. We keep the energy separate, and they become so far, apart from each other, that now we think one is separate from the other. So when I say that the Christ and the Satan are the same, I'm not saying it's the same person or entity, because they're not people, guys. These are energies. You're only a person if you are a human being. What I'm saying is they're the opposite side of the coin. You guys have to start to understand how to pick parables apart, how to pick, riddles apart. That's how I speak. I don't speak, and you have to understand, if you don't have discernment, you can't read between the lines, then you probably don't understand the very book or doctrine that you're following. If you cannot understand when someone is saying something and what it means. That's why I'm able to pick up on energies. I don't care what you're saying. I get the feeling behind it. You could be saying that you hate me, but if I can sense the energy that you love me, then that is what I'm going to take as truth. So when I tell you these two energies are the opposite side of the coin, you cannot have one without the other. This is what I mean. So when you are in a fear state, you no longer have God. The Satan is now your God. So when you fear Satan, Satan becomes your God, because fear is the opposite of divine love. When you take up fear, you put down your cross. When you take up fear, fear becomes exalted up here and the God falls. You flip over the other side of the coin and you put the Christ down, and you put the devil energy and the Satan energy up. This is what I'm saying, guys. I'm all light on this channel. So when we stand in our Christos, Christ frequency energy, when we become a crystalline light being from the inside out, When we take authority of our soul, when we stretch out with the confidence, with the spiritual, energetic confidence, we stretch out and we become the giant of our soul. Satan cannot enter a place like that. When you have taken up every space, every crook and crevices in your soul, there is no room for Satan to come in. Because Satan could just go to a lower dimensional being who's all feared up, coked up on fear, go and party in their soul. So don't come in my comments talking about Satan and being afraid. I'm not afraid of nothing. I'm the authority. Don't you know that ye are gods? Don't you know that ye are gods? You've heard that before. It's in your book. I'm here to get us to act like it. I'm here to make you understand that you are God. Because when you fear, you have put down your cross and you have made Satan your God. So I had to say that. Now, if you have a pot of soup, don't sometimes you have to put something a little bitter in there in order for the soup to be good, to be sweet in the end? If it was all sugar in there or all, tomatoes, which are sweet, it wouldn't be palatable. If it was all a bunch of salt in there and strong herbs, it would be too bitter and too salty. It wouldn't be palatable. This is what source is when I talk about the Satan and the Christ. When we talk in terms of source, which is infinite, which never ends, it's ever expansive. So the fact that you think it ends in heaven I can't make sense of that. Because source never ends. Source, God, energy is always expanding. It never ends. This is how big it is. It doesn't end in heaven. There's spaces way beyond that. That's the energy that I'm in on this channel, guys. So when you're making that soup, a little bitter, a little salt, a little sugar, but when you mix it together, it's edible and it edifies you. It's the same thing with source. A bit of Christ here, a bit of Satan here. Mix it together and it's balanced for all. Because you can't have one without the other, because you would not be able to eat the soup. Here on earth, the laws of this earth realm, you cannot have one without the other. You would not be able to exist in this matrix, so to speak, because it would defy, you would just be in heaven at that point. If it was all light and good here, you would just be in heaven. There would be no point to come here. It would defeat the purpose. You need to have Satan to understand when you have the Christ. Christ also uses Satan. If source is in control of everything, then isn't also Satan its footstool? This is what I'm saying. Don't you know that ye are gods? Satan is your footstool. Satan is like not even my pinky. I'm the authority here. I'm the queen, I'm the empress, and I'm the king. I am the authority. When you take this standpoint, you leave no room for Satan to come in. When you know who you are, gods, yes. When you know who you are, ever expansive, love, wisdom, beauty, power. Listen to all those things. There's no room for no Satan. Satan would never come up against somebody that powerful, standing in their Christos energy. So when you come on this channel and you start pushing that fear, talking about, oh my God, I'm so scared of Satan, and you're talking about Satan and the Christ. Yeah, I can talk about it because I have dominion over all things, because I know who I am. I am God. Deal with it. Click off. Your book even says that. Don't you know that ye are gods and greater things shall you do? So the Christ came to show you the way, to light your path. Told you you're going to do even greater things. But because you're so fear-based, thinking about Satan all day long, Satan is living rent-free in your mind when you're in the fear energy. Satan is now your God. So go away and go praise your God, Satan, that you like to talk about, and that Satan lives rent-free in your mind 24/7. So sorry, guys. I just had to say that. There's no nourishment either. You won't be able to eat the soup. There's no nourishment without the two. Okay, guys, sorry. Now they're doing some construction out here. So if it gets too loud, I might have to pause this video, but I do want to talk about Shiba really quickly. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Guys, I told you guys in another video that just because we have prophecy, we do not ignore charts and, trend lines. We do not ignore it, guys. So what happened with Shiba? I told you guys that I saw inside of Wall Street, and I saw them saying that there is a certain sector of the market that's about to crash. Now, everything did go down that day. I think Monday when there was a huge sell-off, it just kind of, Shiba was just like, eh. We were expecting, but it was just like, eh. You know what I mean? But people always sell the news. That's what you guys have to understand. It's a game that they're playing, but I'm going to tell you, they're playing a dangerous game. And if you are focusing on Satan, focusing on, oh, Satan didn't want to bless me and he's keeping my Shiba coin down, you're going to miss what's coming up. And I'm about to tell you what's coming up. I keep telling you guys, I saw 406 or 408. Shiba is going to go back to the all-time high, guys. I told you guys, the divine said stay close to the edges because we are in a bull market, but the bull market is being withheld because Bitcoin is in bondage. This is what the divine has told me and then showed me behind Wall Street so I could see what they were preparing for. Now, so I was able to make money during Shiba because I sold like 6 days before that day I told you guys I was probably gonna sell because I'm sold the news. I haven't been trading for that long. It's just been a few years, but I know that people always sell the news, right? And then they leave a bunch of bag holders who got in at the last moment. Now, I played the play, and literally the technicals, it was spot on. It was spot on. So we have to learn, like, when we're being too greedy, that's when you actually lose. If you actually, try to keep your fear at bay and your greed at bay, and you just set it and forget it. And like, hey, if it runs up from there, at least you took your portion. See, the problem is you're trying to get other people's portion when we're playing these stocks and these cryptos. You get your portion, okay? You're going to get your share, what you deserve. You see what I'm saying? And so all this is connected still to source. You're going to get your portion. When you're trying to get more than your portion, then you lose it all. That's the whole point that I'm trying to make. So yeah, I got out, and then, yeah, the FOMO did hit me, and I was like, oh, I need to get back in. And so I did go ahead and protect the profits that I made, but I did get back in to ride the prophecy, right? To ride all these, beautiful numbers that we've all been seeing. But like I said, it's a manipulated bull market. And at the same time, there was a crash. There was a dip across the whole, sector. So that's what happened. But guys, if you truly believe in Shiba, my brother sent me a picture the other day, and it might be the thumbnail. There was a gas station in Houston which had Shiba. I'm going to post it too. It was a Shiba gas station. And it was like Shiba wine and beer or whatever like that. Guys, the Shiba army has spoken. People are creating whole businesses off of this. Shiba is a go. Shiba is a win, but you have to be patient. I know that we're used to this pump and dump culture, guys. That's not how you invest. I remember when I was a kid and my dad would be, still calling in his stock that he wanted to buy. He'd be calling, Vanguard or TD Ameritrade. Still, he'd be watching the Dow Jones and be watching all those channels. And he invested for the long haul. And that's why in his older years, he's okay. Because he didn't have this pump and dump culture, guys. That's what you're trying to have. And if Shiba doesn't move in like a few months, you get upset. The wealth transfer is not supposed to be a pump and dump. Wealth transfer is forever. It's for your lineage. It's so you can have generational wealth. So I'm just going to urge you guys not to have this pump and dump culture. Try to have this longevity, because for the ones of us who will be taking part in the wealth transfer is just that. The divine is using all of these cryptos, demonic cryptos. That's another story. But see, that's what I was saying. The divine can use Satan. Even if these cryptos are demonic, I'm not saying that they are, but you know, it ain't gold. It ain't gold and silver in our old financial system, right? So if the divine can use something that is meant to take us off of money and get us all just metaversed up and using all the digital currency, if the divine can take it, some people view that as evil. If the divine can take that aspect of Satan and make it its footstool to give us the wealth transfer, then why are you so afraid of Satan when you are the giant and Satan is like this, like in the Wizard of Oz? It's just a little man standing on top of a soapbox with a megaphone. That's what Satan is. You're making Satan bigger than what he is. Satan never showed up for my dad. Not even one day growing up did I ever hear my dad say Satan is this and Satan is doing. He didn't. He was the authority in our house. He ruled our house with an iron fist. He was the provider, and oh, was he the protector. He was a strong warrior, soldier, and he still is. And he still is. He didn't give an excuse and say, Satan is doing this. This is why I can't take care of my family. He went out there and he got it by any means necessary. And he provided for all 10 of us beautifully. Provided good schools and vacations and a beautiful life, beautiful Christmases with more presents than we know what to do with. Because he wasn't focused on Satan. Just stop, okay? Just stop, okay? Getting back on track. So if the divine can use this financial system that's meant to strip wealth away from us, can use it for a wealth transfer, he's going to give you generational wealth. He's not going to give you money here today, gone tomorrow. That's the culture you guys are in, the pump and dump culture. So just be patient with Shiba, because this is what I saw. Guys, I told you guys after this news that I saw Shiba going down to 5068. Now, see, when we see these things, guys, we're tapping to the current energy, right? That's what prophecies are. We're tapping into the energetic field, and that is a snapshot in time. But what you have to understand about energy, it's fluid, so it's always changing. And if one thing changes over here, like the Maui fires, right? That's going to affect their real estate market. I have a friend trying to sell a $28 million property now. And now because of the fires, he might not be able to sell and get the commission off of that house. So this is what I'm saying. Events can change. It can change these things that we're seeing. But if you do not have a pump and dump culture, if you have that you're in it for the long haul, for the generational wealth, for the wealth transfer, then everything will be fine. This is just what I'm saying, because what I saw is that they're trying to shake people from their coins. And I had a vision of someone like putting in a buy order, like a limit order. And then it was a huge rejection sign on it. There were no more coins left, guys. So I say that to say, do not let go of your coins. Don't have this pump and dump culture that we've gotten used to, everything fast. The wealth transfer is for us to build a legacy. It's going to expand far beyond when we leave this earth, for our children's children. Everything will be well, and I believe in Shiba, and I believe it can take us there, and I believe that divine is using this for our greatest divine good. But that's what I saw. It was a huge rejection. There were no more coins to purchase. It's almost as if they want to fake us out because they know the wealth transfer is happening. They want to fake us out because when you let go and you have the pump and dump culture, and then you'll just move on to the next thing that's hot, and you'll get all your money over there. It's almost as if overnight, guys, this is what I'm seeing. It's almost as if overnight someone went ahead and burned a lot of coins. And when you woke up in the morning to get back in, there were no more coins to be bought. So I'm going to leave it right there. But I want to say I love you, the birds, the bees, and all of the trees. I love you too. Love is the way, forgiveness is the key, and truth is the light that will always guide us home. Be well. Bye.